Hey everyone, it's me here, and welcome to a video on the second channel. I've been very inactive on YouTube this year. It's been half a month already. This is like my first proper video of the year on either channel. I know I promised a lot of projects that didn't hit me, but the video style that I do for the second channel has since changed. I'm very indecisive. Original plan was to do videos or like every piece of media I experienced, but then I came to the realization that I was experiencing media way faster than I could actually make videos for. So now we're kind of embracing the whole I'll make what I want when I want. And I got a larger project actually in the works right now, but I just wanted to make a video. I've been getting back into Bleach recently. I mean, I did finish it earlier this year, but like I was focusing on JJK for a while in terms of like my main anime manga interest. And then recently, like past couple of weeks or so, watching a lot of Bleach videos made me want to talk about the series. And I just went, you know what? I could talk about one of my favorite characters. I could talk about Zanpakuto. I could talk about Yuha. I could talk about Shinji, Ichigo. There are so many characters to love, but like, I don't know why. I don't even, like, I don't dislike the character we're talking about today. But I don't love them either. But today, we are talking about Rojuro Rose Otoribashi, captain of the 3rd Division and the Visored, and then captain of the 3rd Division again. This is more so a general discussion. I don't think this is what I would particularly call specifically a character analysis or even like a discussion on just a specific aspect of the character. Just laying my opinions on Rose and his character all on the table. More so an all-encompassing, potentially long video about what I like and dislike about this character. That said, I might make more videos about Rose. Like, I might do a discussion series about the captains or the visors, and even though I already make this all-encompassing Rose video, kind of have to make another one. And I might make another one of these, in general, if my opinion changes. If, if stuff with him happens in parts 3 and 4, I'll definitely have more to talk about. And if if the Hell Arc comes, I mean, hopefully he'll do something. Anyway, let's get this discussion started. I want to start with talking about design because that's one of Kubo's best aspects as a mangaka. He has a fantastic sense of style. Like, so many of his characters stick out in my mind. It's crazy because most characters in the series wear incredibly basic uniforms, yet there are so many designs that still stand out in my mind. So like whenever we do like these Bleach discussion videos, I'll probably start with character design. It's funny because I don't have too much to say about Rose's design. I like it. I don't think Kubo's really made too many bad designs outside of like stuff like Pepe's Molson dish. I don't like most of his designs are good. He kind of just falls into a tier of captains where I'm like, yeah, it just kind of exists. He kind of falls in the same tier as Soifone, Tensei, and Ukitake once again. I like those characters, but like design wise compared to their other contemporaries, they just don't stand out to me. I haven't particularly talked about like the eccentrically designed captains like Komamura, Kebachi, and Mayuri, just specifically even like Yamamoto, Byakuya, Tosin, Gain, Aizen, they all stand out way more to me. Though I will give Rose a little bit of credit because uh since he's a Vizard, he isn't in the same Shihakusho Heiori design we see with most other captains throughout like the entire series. That said, the outfit he wears as a visor do basically use the same colors. There's more pop to it, like the frilly shirt. I kind of really like that, but just color and look wise, it isn't too different from a standard Shu Hakusho, at least to me. Now, as a little extra point, I do like what Rose does with his hair post time skip, but he honestly doesn't do too much post time skip. So I honestly sometimes forget he even has a different, like, slightly different design post time skip. Once again, I'd like to clarify to the Rose fans out there. So I still like this character. This isn't gonna be a glowing review of me saying that Rose is the greatest character in Bleach, because he's not. I like him, but he's not. He's not one of my favorites, but I like him. But just out of all of Kubo's designs, Rose is kind of just like one of the most to me. Now on to Rose's personality. He's pretty fun. I like him. Once again, he doesn't get to do too much in the story, so like he doesn't really get to show off that personality. But I like how he's laid back. I like how he likes music. He's dramatic on the battlefield, which is always a fun trait to have. Once again, he does have a sense of style. He's absolutely a Kubo character. He also likes manga, and he does not like eggs. But once again, I don't love his shown reading the manga. Once again, it's stated that it is Rose's manga that Love just is reading. They both like manga, even though Rose hates how Love spoils it for him. Once again, dramatic on the battlefield. I know I just said that, but I do really like the dramatic flair. And then let's go on to your relationships when talking about his personality. Once again, I know I didn't say too much about his personality, but like I don't have too much to say because it's like I like it. I don't think there's too much deep here. Like to discuss is like Kenpachi, where like he's very simple, but like there's stuff to talk about with this character. Like Rose, like the general personality and character, like he's laid back, he's dramatic, he likes music, he likes manga. Obviously, all the Vizards have a bond, a deep bond, because I mean, like they spent like what 100 years together. Like even ignoring that they were all comrades in the Gote beforehand, they spent 100 years together. They're basically a big family. But specifically, he seems to have the most one-on-one interactions with Love. And their whole dynamic, at least in battle, once again, they do both like manga. So like they could just bond over that, but battle, Love seems to be a bit more straightforward, not to a Kenpachi or Ikaku extent of just gonna run at ya and cut ya up, but like he cares more about just doing his duty and fighting, whereas Rose, once again, he makes a spectacle in his battles. He's eccentric with it. Rose is the guy who's gonna use a super complicated technique and you're just gonna be baffled until he explains it to you and loses the fight. We'll get to that in a minute. Whereas Love Story Guy's like, yep, my Zanpakuto, it's a club or Kanambo, I think that's what it's called if we're being accurate. that can light on fire. I'm gonna smack you with it. And of course, there's that technical second relationship I want to go over with Izuru, and I say it's technical because, like, you expect the captain and their lieutenant to have some sort of relationship, obviously. But, like, they don't ever interact on screen or on page. All we actually have for their relationship is Izuru saying how, like, Kira was a inspiration for his guitar, and when they were together, the melodies flowed out. And then he tells, no, which is a scene we'll talk about later. He will die. It's a cool scene. I like it. I just wish that we got told this, and we could have seen what their relationship was like. The original anime gave us a little more, because in the final episode, the original Bleach anime, in like the sort of like final credits scene, we see Izuru, Rangiku, and Shuhei drinking together, and obviously we can't hear what they're saying, but get little speech bubbles, and it looks like Izuru's either like complaining about Rosa's going, ugh, Otoribashi guy's so different from Gin, I just don't know how to handle it. He's either complaining about him or, well, I guess he's complaining either way, but like, given how Rose talks about Izuru, I imagine since the Lost Agent arc, they've ironed out any real issues. I one hope for Rose in the future, given how things are with both of them in the Thousand Year Blood War arc. I'm not necessarily expecting to get any sort of relationship or dialogue between them in the Thousand Year Blood War arc anime itself, but if we do get the Hell arc, I kinda hope we get something. Like, maybe they're fighting together as captain or and lieutenant, or maybe they just do, like, not even in a direct battle together. They're like, just get scenes with them. And that's all I really have to say for Rose's personality. Let's move on to the next segment of the video. Now we're gonna start talking about what Rose actually does in the story. And even though we get introduced to him during the Arrancar arc, I want to go chronologically, both with this and any other discussion videos like this I do in the future. So, even though this isn't Rose's technical introduction, we're going to talk about what he does and turn back the pendulum. And despite being one of the Holoflat captains, Rose doesn't do too much besides get holified. We don't get with too much of him prior to the holification. We do have that he does participate in this little fight that the soon-to-be visored have with the holified Kensei and Mashiro. All we really get with specific character-wise with Rose here is he blasts Kensei in the back with Aikido, saying that he's not this sort of coward who would harm a girl, and I think he goes to attack Lisa, if I remember correctly. It could have been Hiyori, I forget. I'll put on the screen which one it is now, because I obviously just by I'm right either way, I just can't remember specifically. It's been like, I wasn't gonna say it's been like a year, but no, actually it's been like a year since like I started reading the manga, actually, not like watching, like, whatever. And there isn't too much to Rose here, actually. I could have sworn he did more, but like, the only actual interaction I can think of before, outside of the actual holification incident, is like he makes a comment about Kisuke being late and a new guy when then Shinji comments that Rose is also a newer captain. Like that's all I can think of. I remember there being more to Rose in this arc, but guess we'll go into what he does in the story proper now. And now here, once again, you'll get to see a bit of why I say Rose. A truck just drove by my house. Sorry about that. Anyway, this outside of like is trading once again. I know the visors kind of do just disappear from the story for a while, so this isn't a Rose specific issue, but like all he really does in the Iran card, like, he this admittedly awesome scene where the visor all like pin Ichigo down with their Zanpakuto. That's super. This is a super cool scene. I love this. But besides that, he talks about music and manga, and then they get ready to go to Fake Art Town. Which, speaking of Fake Art Town, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Fake Art Town. And Fake Art Town, once again, he shows up with the other visor, has this cool posing scene. They got their those out, at least some of them do, because, you know, Kensei is just has this best, but I'm pretty sure it's because he has Tachikaze like in his pocket or in its Shikai, but yeah, whatever. Show up and then they shoot. I vented cut so you guys see. Yes, I'm taking screenshots for as I go, whatever. It's when they go fight the Gillians with their holomasks, it's all cool and stuff, but Roses is like the weirdest one, because like pretty sure Mashiro just like kicks Love like tears one open. That's super cool. But Rose does this weird aprigio. I don't know how to pronounce, but aprigio. I think that's the pronunciation I'm going with. You guys can bully me in the comments for incorrect pronunciations later. It like creates these golden like threads around the Gillian, and it just crushes it. Well, that's cool. It's not explained what it is, and it's not clear at all, because like the golden thread immediately makes me think, oh, this is his Shikai, because I know what his Shikai is, and we'll talk more about this in the Zanpakuto segment. But as you see in this image, Kinshara is sealed. If it's a Kido, it's not named. If it's a hollow ability, we've seen no hollow ability like this before. That weirdness aside, then he and Love go to fight Stark, and I really like this fight. Not one of my favorite fights in all of Bleach, but it's a good fight. But Rose and Love are not why I like this fight. It's really just Stark and Shinsui. They are the reasons I really like this fight. Their interaction is great, and you admittedly have like the cool scenes. Like, it's funny how like Rose tries being all dramatic, and then you have Love smacking him on the head to get him to like focus and like, yo, enemy, come on, just release your Zanpakuto. We gotta go, man. It's like the Primera spot. Get your head in the game. And while they admittedly are the conduit for Stark's super cool wolf ability, and this is the fight where Rose shows Kinshara Shikai, which once again we'll talk more about Kinshara and Rose Shikai in the Zanpakuto segment. the fight's really good whenever Shunsui there, and this isn't a Shunsui video, so I can't just talk about why I love Shunsui. This is a Rose video. Admittedly, that cool scene, which once again is be more a love or Shunsui video, where after Shunsui comes back and stabs Stark in the back. Mainly love. I mean, Rose is there, but it's mainly love going, hey man, this fight, this is our fight now. You shouldn't be stepping in. And then Shunsui has that awesome line where he's like, listen, man, we're in a war right now. Honor has no place in war. Second, it's war. Both sides are evil. Just do what you do to win. We'll see. And then Rose with the other available captains and lieutenants go to fight Aizen. And once again, this is another cool ass fight. Really like this fight. But not because of Rose. It's a cool Aizen fight. I also kind of like Toshiro, Shinji, and Shunsui in this fight, but like, it's mainly an Aizen fight. And as cool as it is, Rose doesn't really get to do much. Just once again, it's Aizen. He's not really pressed until Kisuke and Ichigo start fighting him. Even that, I wouldn't even say he's all that pressed when Kisuke shows up. Kisuke does some cool stuff, but like, he doesn't really get pressed at all until, well, I guess there's Gin. Yeah, Kamishin no Yari catches him by surprise, and obviously Bankai Ichigo. That's all I really have to say about Rose for the fake Curtain arc, and he shows up in the Lost Station arc at the end, but he doesn't really do anything. It's kind of, oh yeah, Rose is now captain of the 3rd Division again. So, now onto the 1,000 Year Blood War. Now onto Rose and what he does in the 1,000 Year Blood War arc. He doesn't get to do that much, but unlike the past couple of arcs, what little screen time we have with Rose until like last little bit, because I do have problems with that, I like. First off is conversation and then off-screen battle with Nanana. Well, this implies that he loses the fight when he says it's cool, because like he's weeping about his soldiers dying and about Kira, and then claims that he'll kill Nanana, which he doesn't live up to. Which, I mean, like, if he really wanted to bust out the Bankai, I mean, admittedly, they didn't know that olification would stop the stealing Bankai, because like we don't get that conclusion until like Urahara shows up, but like, yeah, whatever. Doesn't, outside of the conversation with Nanana, he doesn't do much during the first invasion. We don't really get too much of him in between invasions. That his involvement kind of peaks in the second invasion when he shows up to fight Mask. And it's a super cool scene. Up until the end, we get to see his Bankai, super freaking cool Bankai, one of my personal favorites probably. Like, I don't know if it's in like my top 10, but probably somewhere like from top 15 to top 20 Bankais. If there's even that much in the series, I don't even remember. I don't remember top of my head how many Bankais there are. Point is, really like Rose's. It's a cool ass scene until Rose explains exactly how his ability works. And once again, I will explain Rose's Bankai in the Zanpakuto segment, so if we're skipping over that, that's why. And as awesome as a finish to Rose as Mask does, really think he should have won the fight. I feel like realistically, you could have given Renji another fight. Like, he doesn't finish him off, but like, I don't know, like, show the fight between him and Basby. Be the big Renji fight. Because, yeah, I don't know at this point more. Who else would he fight? Meninas? But, like, I don't. Point is, I think Rose should have won. And it sucks that the reason he won. Well, I mean, Mask kind of way stronger. Because I mean, like, he got caught lacking really bad, but like, I wish, I wish Rose was that way. And then he gets turned into a zombie by Giselle. Mayuri makes him his zombie, and then Rose does nothing for the rest of the arc, which really sucks. I hope in part 3, even if it's just like doesn't get to do much, use like even just King Shara against Gerard in part 3 at some point. Have him participate, please. I have hopes that if we get a Hell arc properly outside of just the one chapter we do have, he has some fights, or at least a fight that's cool where he gets to show up more of his Zanpakuto, because it's a cool Zanpakuto, we just don't get enough of it. Anyway, that's all for what Rose does in the story. Because, yeah, he does show up in the Hell chapter, but he's just at the Kanso Rensai. He doesn't, like, get any cool character moments or anything, so we're moving on. Alright, now we're gonna go over Rose and, like, his powers and abilities and stuff, but, like, normally I go straight into the Zanpakuto discussion. But actually, I want to talk about Rose's Kido routes, because, like, we don't see too many, like, particular Kidos that Rose uses. I don't even think we see, like, basic stuff like Rikujo Koro, Byakurai, Shakaho, or Sokatsui, but Kubo did state in a club outside interview that, or well, like, I don't know if we probably call it an interview, just a question. But point is, claim that outside of Haki, Rose is the most efficient Kido user of the visors. Once again, we do have a Hell arc, and Rose has at least a fight or two. I hope we get to see, as much as I do want to see more Kinshara, like, let the man fire off a Sokatsui or Byakurai. You don't even have to do some, like, fancy Kidos, or even, like, a... Yeah, that, I just want to see more of Rose. He's cool. Wait, on to the Zanpakuto itself. And before we get into Rose's Shikai or his Bankai or any of that, I still want to talk about this, because, like, what is this technique? Because, like, to go more specific, he unsheaths his Zanpakuto. I mean, he does have the hollow mask on, so, like, I'm assuming it's some usage of his hollow powers. Now that we know how skilled he is in Kido, because it's stated by Kubo, maybe it's a weird mixed application of hollow and powers and Rose's solid, like good Kido. Like, he unsheaths King Shara, his Zanpakuto, plays the scabbard like it's a piano, and then just once again the golden thread that looks like King Shara's Shikai wraps around the Gillian and crushes it. I don't have too much to say that I didn't go over originally, but, like, it's such a weird technique. And here we are with Rose's Zanpakuto. Favorite part of the video. I love Rose's Zanpakuto. As I've stated multiple times at this point, Rose's Zanpakuto is called Kinshara, which means Golden Sai True. He releases it by using the command play, which transforms it into a golden whip with, like, this point and the whole flower design, once again going in with golden sal tree. And even ignoring, once again, love this Zanpakuto visually. Shikai is so cool looking. It kind of fits this mold of, like, multifaceted Zanpakuto, where it kind of works as a melee Zanpakuto and a Kido Zanpakuto, because it has a special ability that isn't just melee based, but also the main ability of the Shikai, at least at first, is just turning into the golden whip. So it can change how Rose fights. He can, like, throw it around like Renchi does Zabaimaru. Or Zabimaru. Sometimes it goes Zabaimaru. Sometimes it goes Zabimaru. And unlike some other Kido swords where it's like Hyorin Maru and, like, Tobiyume, for example, like, the release of Hyorin Maru isn't going to change how Toshiro, like, swings his sword. Tobiyume, yeah, just gonna fire fireballs. You're not gonna use Tobiyume's Shikai for physical attacks. Rose can do that, and he has a bit of seemingly sound manipulation. I tried remembering like the proper name of it. I'll put it on screen in Japanese, but basically it's like Sonata 11 16th day or something. Like he plays his whip like a piano, and it causes an explosion. I imagine once again we only get to see this technique with a Shikai, but given the naming scheme Sonata 11, I imagine there's at least 10 more techniques. Maybe if he strums it like a guitar, bangs it like a drum. Maybe not bangs it like a drum, but he's very eloquent. He cares about the dramatic flair, and like banging it like a drum would like be almost like violent, but like, or crude, I guess is the better word. Point is, I think there's a lot we could have seen from Kinshara. Just Rose never got a fight again. His only other fight outside like the basic use of Kinshara, he goes straight into his admittedly super cool Bankai, which we'll go over now since I talked about pretty much everything I can with the Shikai. And now here we have Rose's Bankai. Kinshara. I thought I remembered the name before I started recording, and I need to double check. There we go. Kinshara Butodan, which means Golden Sao Tree Dancing Tree, which is another stunning, visually Zanpakuto with another super cool ability, in my opinion. Where he unfurls the whip to create this dancing troupe, and the conductor wand in the air. Seemingly, it gets rid of all the actual weapon aspect of the Zanpakuto, but in exchange, he can conduct music based on the titles of the numbers that he plays. Seemingly, illusory effects are applied to those who hear it. For example, in the fight with Mask, which I don't know why I specify in the fight with Mask, because we've only seen him use it in a fight with Mask, but it starts off with Sea Drift, which effectively traps Mask in a whirlpool, and then he plays Prometheus, which burns him to the core. Then you have Mask going, oh, what? There's no Zanpakuto that can use water and fire, and then Rose admittedly explains which ruins the Bankai. We'll get into it. It's like, yes, my Zanpakuto doesn't control water and fire. It creates a beautiful song, which creates illusions to those who and when I say illusions, it's not like an illusion where there's a guy that stabs you, but you don't really stab you, and your mind thinks that you got stabbed and you're hurt. Like, no, you still feel burned from Prometheus. So, like, as long as you can hear the music, even though the things aren't happening, your body still feels burned. It still feels like you're getting swept away from the sea drift. For the third technique that we never got to see, it's a bit of a complicated name, so I'm gonna have to double check before I explain it. Alright, I held in Levin, which means a hero's life. Assumedly, like, from how Rose was hyping up El Helden Leben, once again, I hope I'm saying that right, because that is German. Outside of, like, Ron Sotangai and Lichtereg, and I'm not too sure on how to pronounce the German words Kurbo uses. Kuba, oh my god, I'm so stupid. It might have just killed Mask on the spot. Because, like, he was going, this final song will take your last breath. El Hilden Leben. But of course, we never got to see if that's how it worked or if it had another effect, because Rose would shut up about the rules of his Bankai. mask jammed his fingers into his ear, which that on its own would not cancel out the Bankai, because Rose himself says, well, just covering your ears won't be enough. You'll still hear the sound. And then Mask pulls out his fingers. They're covered in blood. It's like, oh, you ruptured your eardrums. Then, yeah, then he takes out Rose. So again, super cool Bankai. Should have killed Mask, though. I still think we could have given Renji another fight. I know it's supposed to hype up, and I'm saying this as someone who likes Renji way more than I like Mask. I just think Mask needed a win way more than Renji. Wait, no, not Mask. I like Renji more than I like Rose. Rose needed a win, though. He's never had like a legitimate win in this entire series so far. Right, on to the last aspect of Rose's powers. And now on to the last part of the video, Rose's Hollow Mask, which is more so going to be talking about how much I like Rose's Hollow Mask visually, as opposed to what it does, because like all Hollow Masks are just massive stat increases. So yeah, your strength, you're way stronger, you're way faster, you can take more hits, and you can use hollow techniques. We mainly just see Visors use them for Ceros, but like I imagine they could also Hero and Sunito, maybe even high speed regeneration. Because once again, I'm pretty sure even like Club Outside, like if they wanted to go further down the path of hollowification, like correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure somewhere Kubo has stated, once again on Club Outside, like I'm 99% sure, that like Tosin, the Visors could, I imagine, be having to do with conquering the inner hollow, not in the same way. Like I don't think they have a second Zanpakuto spirit in like as their inner hollow or something, like just like their primal hollow instincts, like they could achieve resurrection. So as I describe them, they are Rancars. But yeah, I really like how Rose's Hollow Mask looks. You know what? Quick Visored Hollow Mask visuals ranking. My favorite's probably Hachi. It's just very distinct to me. It's definitely biased because Shinji's easily my favorite Visor, but like the scene where he bowls it out when he like meets Ichigo at night in Karakura Town is that just cemented that design in my brain to me. Then I really like Loves as well. Then would be Rose's. Then probably Hiyori's. Or yeah, Hiyori's. Then Mashiro, Kensei, and then Lisa. Yeah, there we go. But for closing thoughts on Rose as a character, I did not expect to get this much out of Rose, as I was like getting through most of like what I wanted to talk about within like the 15 to 20 minute mark. I'm like, oh, this probably isn't going to be like half an hour. It's short compared to the other videos on this channel, but it is not. It's not a short video in general. And Rose is a character I really want to like. There's just enough for me to latch on, like, oh yes, I like this character, but not enough for me to say he's even close to being one of my favorites. He's also just, when I compare him to his contemporaries in the third division, he just doesn't stand out to me anywhere near as much. Gin's not one of my personal favorite characters in the series, but reading and watching Bleach, I could never get a read on Gin until his final moments in the series. Even if there are characters I like more than Gin, I was extremely captivated by Gin. And Izuru, while he doesn't get to do too much, he's my personal third favorite character in the series, so I'm just very biased towards Izuru. And Rose, yeah, considering the fact that I spent like 40 minutes talking about this character, I like him. I think most of that comes from the Hollow Mask and the Zanpakuto. But I like Rose. I wish he did more. I really wish he did more. That's why I'm hoping most from potentially the Gerard fight in Thousand Year Blood War anime and the Hell Arc. I want more of Rose. I want to like this character a lot more than I do. Anyway, but that's all for this video on Rojuro Rose Otoribashi. If you guys want to see more videos like this, specifically about Bleach characters or just other characters, not even just specifically in anime and manga, just in general, let me know in the comments down below. Any specific characters, or just if you want to see this like character discussion be more of a series on the channel, I'm open to it. Anyway, if you guys enjoy, just tell me your thoughts and any other videos you want to see. Once again, even though I do have a big project works on in the background, I still want to do. I don't know how many small projects gonna get in while working on that, but I do want to do some smaller stuff in the meantime. Wait, this has been It's Me. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.